Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. In the last episode, we built this system here, which is currently harvesting the heat from this magma channel here. We're using it to clean some water from the different brine vents down on the map. Um, it's a much more efficient way of desalinating water, and we're currently, as you can see, purifying a ton of water here from these steam turbines. And I think what we're going to do to start off this episode is we're going to increase the efficiency of this by making a few minor tweaks. So you can see that this window tile is well over 200 degrees for quite a while, since that's what the thermosensor turns on, is when it hits under 200 degrees, it opens, and then very quickly it's back up. But the steam temperature in the rest of the room is only it fluctuates by a couple degrees here or there, and so I think what we want to do maybe is put some temperature shift plates throughout the room just to evenly distribute the temperature much more quickly than waiting for the steam temperature to naturally distribute itself. Um, the other thing I want to do is I want to plug in a few of the other vents. So this one definitely, we already have this one online, and you can see we're about to run out of the buffer. It's dormant right now. Basically, I want to hook up to what our maximum capacity is. So this current setup can handle up to 8 kgs of water per second, um, which we are currently dumping in more than that. So you know, it kind of is it's whatever, but once that buffer runs out, then it's not gonna be over 8 kgs anymore. Um, so I wanna plumb in at least this one, and we have this one online, and that'll bring us up to around about 7,000 on average will be put in there. So that might already be our buffer, and then I have to expand this out, add more steam turbines, make the room bigger or more efficient, which we'll come to that. And so I'm gonna plumb in that one at least definitely right now. And then after that, um, I want to start working on handling this water because it's going to fill up very quickly here, and we need to make sure that it does not overflow um, up past this point because otherwise our whole system is going to. It's not going to turn off. It's just well, it will actually because the overflow will no longer be working. So we need to make sure we have something that can infinitely handle this water. So I think we're gonna put a liquid pump right around like here or something, which means once the water gets up to this level, it'll automatically be sucked out, and we'll dump it into another water tank, and so on and so forth. And eventually, we'll just dump it into space if need be. I'm trying to avoid using infinite liquid storage on this map because it's just one of those things where it's just slightly too cheesy for me, and I think the challenge of handling the liquids other than that is fun. Um, so that's what we're going to work on first. We're going to start with plumbing in this and maybe putting some temp shift plates. So, all right. So I put in these temp shift plates down here. They're made of aluminum, so they're really conductive, and it's not going to get hot enough for aluminum to melt, so we don't have to worry about that. And you can see that it has brought down the temperature right in this area by quite a bit and kind of helps distribute out. So up here, the steam temperature is right around about 210, which is pretty much what I'm going to consider perfect. But there's one small problem, which I'm currently working on. You can see with this gas pump. Somehow, well, I not somehow. I know how. There's a little tiny bit of polluted oxygen in here, and of course, since steam is more dense than polluted oxygen, it flows right to the top, and it blocks some of the vents of our steam turbines. So what I'm going to try to do is put a gas pump. I can see I tried already and put it in the wrong spot. I need to move it 2 tiles up. I'm going to try to vacuum it out uh, just when it goes over the gas pump. And I've just been dumping it into this room since it's already pretty hot in here, and it really doesn't matter. Um, and then things will be working. The way this formed is that when I turned off the machine to build this insulated tiled foundation, there's a little bit of polluted water still left at the bottom here, and that off-gassed. Um, there must have been low enough steam pressure or something along those lines that it managed to off-gas, and so we're stuck with this tiny singular tile of polluted oxygen. So I'm going to work on getting that out of here, and then we can run this at max efficiency. Other than that, we're building the conductive wire down to the this polluted brine vent, which once we get that online, then that'll be very nice. The pipe currently, the water pipe, oh, the water pipe currently comes up to about here, and it'll just go across, and then somehow I need to weave it in through all of this bullshit, and we're just gonna dump it in here. And there was an important comment made on the last episode. I need to make sure that I don't drop the polluted water directly onto these window tiles, because they can temporarily get up to about 500 degrees when this closes, which we're about to see right here. Okay, there it didn't get up that high anymore because of the temp shift plates, which is very nice. But dirt right here turns to sand once it gets over 326 degrees, and it could be enough to form a natural tile. So we want to try to avoid that by dumping the polluted water off just a little bit so it touches, you know, the steam on its way down and not the window tiles themselves, because they'll be too hot for that dirt to survive. So I'm going to build this liquid pipe over here now. I just got it. I managed to just barely vacuum up the little bit of polluted oxygen in here. So now all of these are running at 4. You will notice that I maybe put the coolant loop to go and try to cool through here. I don't know if I'll keep this. Right now, while we're not dumping more hot water into this room, this will eventually cool it down to the 15 degrees that I have set. It might just take a very long time. And it also brought up the temperature of the entire room out here. Did I just see toilet out of order as an... Alright, hold on. This is important. If the toilet is out of order, legitimately. No, okay. What in the world? Okay. Anyways. So, I am sort of attempting to cool this. Well, I'm not adding more water into this room because all the geysers are off. Like this one's dormant. Ooh, what the heck, guys? Oh my goodness. Okay. Anyways. Oh, there's one in the bedroom too. Okay. Anyways. No more distractions. Come on, guys. While this is running, or while there's no more being dumped in, this will eventually cool down. It just will take a very long time. Especially with the steam turbines running at max. Once I add more in, I'm not sure. If this gets down to the 15 degrees that I want, and then I don't know if the amount of water that will be dumped in here when we add more water will be too much for the system to handle. I don't know. What I'm trying to say, basically, is I don't know if I need a second thermal aqua tuner if I wanted to do this. Or if I would possibly need even a better cooling liquid, because the thing is, we're using water to cool water here. Both have very high specific heat capacities. You need a lot to cool this water down. So I don't know if I have a material yet that would be able to actually do this easily with one aqua tuner. I might need super coolant to be doing what I want, what I'm trying to do here. But you know what? I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens, honestly. And if everything breaks, everything breaks. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. I'll just disconnect. I'll just reconnect the pipe here across and cut down the coolant loop. It's not gonna be a big problem. And as for the other liquid, though, that I just was talking about so much, we're almost there. The power wire is still being built. Ignore how convoluted of a path this is. I was a little lazy and didn't feel like digging this entire biome out right now. I will get around to it probably when I start doing the thermal gas fissures, but for now, we're not going to. This is still working great. But we've had no more issues since I added those temp shift plates. And these 4 are running at max blast always. So that's what we wanted to see. It's producing a ton of power. We are using a bit for the thermal aqua tuner, but other than that, it's not really that big. It's not that much, so we're fine. So I just remembered that there's the relative temperature scale. So it's really cool. You can see how this is actually working in this room. most of the steam in here is around the same temperature of 200 degrees. And then right where we're dropping the water, it temporarily flashes very cold pretty frequently because that's where it's cooling. And then when we open the door, you can see kind of like this bloom of hot temperature escape into this area, right? Like that. Um, which is keeping the steam temperature at its same high level. Pretty cool. I'm so glad they added this relative temperature. I have no idea what thermal... Ah, okay, never mind. I know what thermal tolerance is. Yeah. Interesting. Is this like... Yeah, it's how close something is to being... changing state. Most things are not very close. Over here, they're very, very close. Okay. Anyways. Back... We're just about to hook up the... oh, it just hooked up. We're about to start, filtering out all of this polluted brine over here now. We'll see how this handles because we have this hot that I've been trying to cool. I might disconnect this. I think it's just not going to work right now. Or we only need to cool when we're not actively dumping in more fluid. Because it's just not going to be able to keep up, I don't think. Especially not when I have so much here already and we're just passing by 10 kgs per second. It's not enough. And I don't really want all this heat leaking out. Not that it really matters, but I'm gonna reconnect that. All right, here comes the polluted brine. I'm gonna watch it at first just to see. Hopefully, it doesn't. I want it to instantly flash. Otherwise, it could cause problems with sand if it touches over here. And also, this could off-gas the polluted water if it doesn't boil. Which, why is it not boiling? I might need to say above like 220 or something when there's when I'm adding more liquid. It is really interesting. The polluted water is not... Huh. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some more temp shift plates over this way. Like that. Who cares if the insulated tile gets hot. And that should cause that to flash almost instantly. It'll draw the temperature this through here and make it so all of this is at 200 degrees. And we won't have to deal with the possibility of it, off-gassing or causing sand. There we go. Look how that fast that's now instantly evaporating there. What we want. I have so much aluminum, I could throw it around like that. I'm literally refining 99, or have 99 operations refining over in my industrial block. It just does not matter. Same with steel. I have plenty of it to do whatever I really want with, so I could use steel, but aluminum has better thermal conductivity than steel by a long way. Alright, there we go. This whole area is now being constantly brought to the correct temperature. Honestly, what is the temperature down here anymore? It's... Ooh boy. We might need to break back in here and expand this out a little ways. Really what I should do is I should just future-proof this and build the entire thing all the way down right now so that it can start transferring the heat as much as it can. Because we've already cooled all of this down by almost 600 degrees. Well, not almost. Yeah, actually, some parts almost 600 degrees from where it was. And so it's been getting less and less efficient. You can see how much longer the door has to stay closed to transfer that heat in. I think that might be an order of operation for another day, though. Because breaking back in here is going to be difficult because I need it to be a vacuum. I was thinking of making like a maintenance access, like right here or something, that's vacuumed out, and they can get in and go through and access and expand this out when needed. I think that'd be useful. And we're back to producing salt, which is good. We always need more salt for the Slogos. Speaking of, how are they doing? Pretty good. We're definitely a little lower on Slogos than normal because they're all all these guys were starving, and so they don't reproduce. And let's see, printing pod, copper. I'll take some copper. Why not? I think I'm gonna leave this episode here for the day, though. I'm a little bit short on time, and I have a few plans I want to do next episode. First, let me disconnect this, and then we can reconnect like that. Which it will do this for. It's okay. This is why you have the buffer at the end of your cooling loops always, so you can change them out like this, without any problems. I think next episode I want to probably work on handling all of the excess fluids from these geysers and things. Which means maybe expanding this out, I'm not sure, or just dumping them in anyways. And definitely expanding this spike, so we can transfer the heat out of this area much faster. And maybe work on getting some different creatures ranched. So things like the sequine for Ovaline to get caviar would be nice, or just a couple things like that. And maybe even getting into space. Those are, like, I guess, all of the different plans that I've currently got going through my head right now for what I want to do. So next episode will contain one of those, maybe, or something else. Some other random thing that I end up deciding I want to work on. Honestly, this is coming up at 69 degrees. Maybe I'll just let this radiate through right before I... It would be kind of like a preheater to put it through this hot water tank. Honestly, I should do that with all the liquids that I put through here. So I should radiate them in this area. It will cool down our output water and make it easier so it takes less energy to heat it up in here. All right, that's another thing for next episode. I think I'm going to leave this one here and say thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe and like it. And I'll see you all next time.